Hello YouTube, Fuzz here, welcome back to Final Fantasy IX and our first Post-Excalibur II episode. So we're going to be finishing off some stuff now. We've actually got the sword. The timed portion of this massive playthrough event is now over. The stress is done. We can just take our time and go through the rest of everything else we need to do. And as Thomas says in his guide, you probably had never as much to do before on Disc 4 of Final Fantasy IX as you will have with this particular playthrough. Since throughout the rest of the guide, we've only collected missable items. Everything else we could have got, but didn't have to get at that point, we didn't, so now we're going to have to do so. Interestingly, the GameFaqs guide, link as always in the description, recommends that the first order of business is to do Chocobo Hot and Cold. You can do that, that's no problem, but for me, I just want to get the Nero Family side quest done and sorted, so that's out of the way since we're already in Memoria, and I don't want to screw up on trigger points later on. I'd rather just get that sorted. So we are going to have one boss fight today. The first trigger point is immediately after the last boss fight, which was against the Lich. So as soon as we killed that guy and looted the Excalibur II, we ended the episode, and we started today by going straight back to the Tantalus hideout in order to trigger the first of today's cutscenes. Now I've headed back to the room where we fought the Lich and stepped out onto the balcony into space. And then we can come back after that cutscene for the next of today's Tantalus little triggers. And now back out in space. I'm just editing this video quickly so that you don't have to watch me running backwards and forwards out of the area here, out of the dungeon. So the next trigger is once we enter the Great Crystal place here. I keep calling it the Great Crystal. That's on Final Fantasy XII. Horrible area. Do not want to revisit that. This is just the crystal. But we get this cutscene here. And then we're going to head back once again to Tantalus. So just to clarify, the 3 times so far is immediately at the start of this episode, straight after we kill the Lich, after we step out into space, and now once we've stepped out into the crystal. Okay, so we're going to head back once more. I'll just cut this for you. And now the next trigger after this one is going to be for defeating the next boss. Now we're still low level, and we can't actually level up yet. We still, even though we've completed the Excalibur II portion of this playthrough, we can't actually get experience. I'll explain why in a moment. But for now, what we're going to do is just sort out our party so that we can handle the next boss. And with the PlayStation 4 toggles, it should be fairly simple. But it did take me a few attempts in all honesty. Just make sure everybody has the Insomniac ability and have Queen in the party so you can cast Knight. And make sure Zidane is able to steal well, so give him Master, Thief and Bandit abilities. Since there is one item that we do need to get from this boss, and that is the Dual Claws. Since I believe, I could be wrong, it's the only place in the game that we can actually do so. So as we're making our way there, I'll just explain about the experience. The reason why we haven't been collecting experience is because in order to max our stats, we need a specific set of gear for each character. And even though we've looted Excalibur II, we still haven't got all the other gear that we need. So don't think that just because we've done that part of the playthrough that we can now go ahead and level to 99. We can't. We still need to stay at level 1. We will get that gear. We will work on it now that we can concentrate on it. And then we'll be able to start leveling up our characters and maxing out their stats. But for now, we do have this boss we need to take care of so we can finish off the Nero Brothers quest. And we have this cutscene with Kujar here in the crystal. And that'll lead straight into it, which can be a bit annoying, this fight, because of the steel. At least it was for me, as you're about to see. So the general routine, the general pattern for this fight is going to be to have Queen cast Knight in order to put it into sleep. Obviously, because we've got the Insomniac ability equipped on all of our 4 characters, that's not going to affect us. But we can keep it in sleep mode while Zidane steals. The only thing is, sleep doesn't last very long. So you will want Queen constantly sleeping every time his or her turn comes around. And Zidane's going to be stealing. We're not going to have the other characters attacking immediately. Well, actually, to start with, we'll get some damage in while we can. But then I'm going to just put them on the back burner and just have Zidane stealing so we don't wake him up as often. Most of the time I failed this. The reason I failed is because he likes to open with a Meteor ability, which is very, very nasty. At one point I thought he always opened with it, until a couple of times, including this attempt, I obviously saw that he doesn't. So even though I've been really fast with Queen as blue magic, he would still cast Meteor before. So you'll just have to restart if that happens, because it's probably going to decimate your party to the point where it's really hard to recover from. So one thing you can do, which I don't do until later, but once you've got a nice pattern, a nice routine going here with Queen casting blue magic and Sedan stealing, you can go ahead and just choose Defend with Freya and Amaranth. And then once you've done that, as long as you've got the cursor set to memory, just whack it on high speed mode. So every round you've got Queen casting Knight, Sedan casting Steel, then your other characters defending. So he should stay in sleep mode while you have many Steel attempts because of the fast mode, which should just get through this section a little bit quicker. That said, it should also be noted as well that sleep can miss, and it tends to be annoying when it does, because it's usually the case that he's going to wake up before you have a chance to cast it again. And if he does wake up, he's almost certainly going to get some move or attack off. Now, some of them aren't that damaging, some of his attacks, such as level 5 Death. But some of them, as I say, such as Meteor, can certainly be very unhelpful, shall we say. So the Dual Claws, which is the item we need to get, is actually his rare Steel, unfortunately. Which is a bit annoying because it's the one, as I say, we do need. As far as I'm aware, it's the only place we can get this item, which is why it is important that we do so. But if I'm wrong on that, please somebody correct me in the comments if there's another place to get this. But this, I believe, is a missable item. So, looking forward then, I'm not totally sure what order I'm going to do the Post-Excalibur II content in. I don't know whether we'll be doing the Chocobo stuff next. In terms of the Chocobo content, we've got the Chocographs to collect. And we've got the Dead Pepper treasures to collect. And we've got the free heal ability to do, which means we have to visit all of the beaches in order to get that done. And then on top of all that, for the perfect game, we're going to need to level up Choco's beat to 99. And if you want to max out your points, you need to get 99,999 points. And also you need to play 9,998 games in every location. So maxing out the Chocobo stuff could take a long time depending on how much you're going to want to do in order to be satisfied with your perfect save game file. So I haven't yet decided myself on that. But I'm not sure when we'll be doing that, whether we're doing that from the next episode or not. So there's obviously other things we need to do. We need to visit all the friendly monsters around the forests and what have you. And there's just the optional bosses. As I say, we need to go ahead and max our stats and experience. We need to do the Stelazio coins. We haven't done any of those yet. There's basically just a ton of stuff left to do. A ton of stuff. Oh, how could I forget as well, Tetramaster. The card games, we haven't even done anything with that apart from the tournament bit, did we, earlier on? So we're going to be playing Tetramaster a heck of a lot as well. I'll be doing a lot of this off camera as well. I'll be explaining it to you as I go, but a lot of it's going to be so repetitive and tedious that it would be pointless me showing everything to you. We've got to do frog catching with Queener. So we need to catch 101 frogs in order to be able to do maximum amounts of damage. Some might say, oh, but you can catch more than that, so on a perfect game, shouldn't you do so? You could argue that, but the actual maximum the game will allow you to collect is over 32,000, which just isn't really practical. So, we're better off just sticking off at 101. We've got to finish off the Mognet, do the Mognet Central opening. The Idle and Wall side quest, we've got another monster in the weapon shop to take care of. We've got to finish off Stiltskin's little mini side quest adventure, and I've also got to do the King of the Jump Rope. I did do a video on how to do that, but I didn't do it on this particular save file, so I need to fire up the script and hopefully get that done without too much of an issue. And then we just need to make sure that we max out our inventory with all the items that we can get. But there we have it, Deathguise is defeated, and as you can tell. We've got a lot more to do after him. Okay, so before we do anything else then, our very next course of action is to finally finish off the Nero Family Brothers side quest. So what we're going to do is just make our way back to Tantalus for the final time for this quest. And then we'll be able to see the last cutscene before collecting our reward. So make your way back out of the crystal and back out of the dungeon as a whole. Once again, I'm just going to go ahead and cut here. There we go. Okay, so we're back in Tantalus. Or Limblum. And we're going to Tantalus, I should say, the hideout. And Panera is the last guy. The last family member. And then you'll know you've done it because Zidane will make a comment on the size of the family. And that's it. All we need to do is head in here. And we'll find a treasure chest containing some really, really great treasure. No, just a protect ring. That's it. Unfortunately, that's our entire reward for that side quest. And that's all there is to it. Now, you could actually go through every trigger point. That's the final trigger point, by the way, that we've just done. But we did skip a load early to save time before Excalibur 2. But you could go through all the trigger points. And there's actually enough trigger points to complete the quest twice. But there's no reward for doing it the second time. It's completely pointless. There's no way of knowing that you've even done it at the end of your save file. So there's just no need to do so. But I'm going to finish things off here for today. So we're going to just head outside and we'll go ahead and save. I don't really care about showing you my time anymore since we've done the timed portion of the playthrough. So I won't show you that. But that's it for today, I'd say. I'm not sure exactly where we're going in the next episode, but I'm sure I'll have a good think about it after this. And it'll be a nice surprise when you next turn up. So thanks for stopping by today, guys. Let me know how you're getting on in the comment section. And I'll see you soon for more FF9. Goodbye.